you miss me? Hey besties, hey shawty bays, I'm back. I hope everyone is doing good, hope everyone is doing great. Happy New Year, it's February 11th when I'm filming this, but so happy New Year. I moved across the world, which is why you guys haven't seen a video, but I'm back. And I'll be doing my all the books I read in January video. So, yay! So, I read 12 books in January, which is a lot. When I set my goal for this year, my Goodreads goal, I was intending to read 6/7 books a month, and I made the goal 70, but I think I will be able to increase that, but we'll see. Maybe January was just a good month. Okay, so we're gonna get started with all the books. I'm gonna be kind of quick because you have 12 books. So the first book I read this month, which I had started in 2021, and the first 3 books are also in like my 2021 ranking, but I did finish them in January, that's why. So the first book I read is Will Do by Katie Roberts. So this book is just a little smut kind of thing. It's like, you know, those Wattpad one-shots you'd have with like no background story. I mean, there is like background story, but like no connection to the characters and stuff. You can't rate it properly because like, what am I supposed to rate it? Like how good the description of the smut was, like, yeah, I can't do that. So some other smut books, I have read a few more this month and I like them better. So I gave it a 3.5 stars. The next book I finished this month is The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book deserves a moment of silence. This book is literally everything. The characters, Jameson, and I think Nash deserves an honorable mention. I love this book so much, and like the ending, I would have been happy with how it ended this book. So I'm really excited for the sequel and what Jennifer Barnes is gonna do with the sequel. So I'm so glad she ended up with Jameson though. Like, Jameson is so, yes. My type is those, like, you know, flirty, bantery type guys. That is my type. Like, Xander is also that type, and I'm like, okay. The next book I finished is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by D.E. Schwab. This book, I was expecting it to be kind of boring, and like it was. Like, I wouldn't say boring, but it was definitely like, if I was reading the physical copy of the book, it would have taken me a while to go through, but I listened to the audiobook and I would definitely recommend you guys do that. It was a good book. Like the ending, I loved the ending. It was like 5 a.m. and I was sobbing, like, because I had a connection to Addie, and I don't want to spoil it, but then when she, like, you know, then what happened, I was like, this badass queen. Like, most books have like female protagonists, but they're like not like the badass kinds. But so I was cleaning my room, right, and I found like my old dark diaries. It was a trip down memory lane for sure, and I was like, why not read them? They're like really tiny, big letters, big words, like big fonts. I think I can finish really quickly and I can add it to my Goodreads. So like, let's do it. So I read, the first one I read was Holiday Heartbreak, which is like, I think the 6th one. I gave that a 4 stars. Damn. And then the next one I read is TV Sensation, which I gave it a 3.5 stars. So apparently I like one of them better. So I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is about because it doesn't have like a set theme. Like, Even in my bookshelf, I put them in general fiction because I didn't know what else to put them in. It's like a diary, you know, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I feel like most of y'all have read. And I did a little book journal spread for that. Look how pretty. Okay, so the next book I read is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and oh my god. This book was packed. Like, the ending, so much stuff happened. It was like bam, 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 then bam, and oh wait, another bam. It was, I was listening to the audiobook and I had to sit up so I could pay attention, okay? It was that intense. But it was so good though. I listened to the audiobook because there's like a bunch of interviews and stuff, because to have like a podcast and stuff, I think that was like a really good choice. So this book had such a good female character. We love female protagonist. It was like one of those badass, like those YA female protagonists that you don't find annoying. There's very few. Holly Jackson did a good job with her. I gave this book a 4.5 stars. I'm very like rare with my 5 stars. Like, there's so many books that like I didn't give a 5 star just because I didn't want to give it a 5 stars, because that'd be like giving out too many 5 stars. And what I'm gonna do is, like, towards the end of the year, for like more books, I'm gonna increase those like 4.5 stars to 5 stars, like compared to other books. So yeah, the next book I read is Vernon Rising by Leigh Bardugo. So as you guys might know, the Shadow and Bone series, but not my favorite series. First book I gave it like 3 stars, and the second book, which was complete and utter trash, I gave it like 2 stars. I was not excited to read this book, but it like physically hurts me not to like finish a series. So I decided to finish it. I listened to the audiobook. Most series have like a climactic ending. The ending was so good. This is like the wrap up of a series. That's probably why it was really good. I loved it, and it had so many beautiful quotes. Here is my book journal spread for this. Look at that! Look at me go, material girl. I did it a 4 stars because the ending was so fucking superior. Everything, I swear to God. Okay, the next book I read is the one, the only, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Let's go! So, let me tell you guys a story. So, I started Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, and some of y'all might know I only read one Colleen Hoover book a month. So when Reminders of Him came out, I started reading it. But, I hate to say it, I was bored. Maybe I was like not in like a sad, kind of all in your feels kind of romance. I guess I'm gonna give it another try soon, like maybe in March, because I have a bunch of books from the library that I want to finish. I already have like a big TBR, like 10 books that I already have from the library, so I don't think I'm gonna need any more books. I didn't talk about Ugly Love. Okay, Ugly Love is about this girl, and she moves in with her brother, and there's a neighbor who is also her brother's best friend, and you know what happens. It's enemies to lovers, first proximity, brother's best friend, sad past, so I was like waiting for this to be like a normal, hot, like brother's best friend kind of shit, but nothing is normal with Colleen Hoover. Like, none of her recent books, like Ends with Us, Verity, Ugly Love, are like pure romances. I want to obviously read you guys the quote that has Ugly Love. So, it's these beautiful moments that make up for the ugly love. Ugly love becomes you, consumes you, makes you hate it, makes you realize that all the beautiful parts aren't even worth it. Without the beautiful, you'll never risk feeling the ugly. Love isn't always pretty, and you lose your heart somewhere along the way hoping it will get better. I gave it a 4.75 stars. I'm probably going to change it into a 5 stars. We'll see about that. The next book I read is The Midnight Lie by Mary Rakowsky. This fucking book, bro. This book was my favorite book of the month. I loved it so much. I gave it a 5 stars. Like the middle school kind of books that you read, but this fucking book, oh my god, I love it so much. The characters, it's mostly because of the characters, because the love interest Sid is literally the love of my life. It's like the perfect mix of romance and fantasy. Like there was enough action that I didn't get bored, but also like it left enough space for the romance and the fluff and the sweetness. Also the epilogue, what the fuck happened there? I was like, hold up a goddamn minute. Okay then, that's what we're doing. Next book I read is, not read, I listened to it. It's called The Evil Eye. I don't exactly know the author. I'll insert it here. And this book is like really short. It took me like 1.5 hours to listen to it. It's a mystery. It's about this girl and her parents are forcing her to get married, and then she suddenly meets this guy and we see what happens from there. It was good, but it wasn't like the best book ever, so I gave it like a 3.8 stars. Next book I read is Little Fires Everywhere by Celestine. So I was on the plane, right? It's a 14-hour flight. It's like a 15-hour flight, and I watched the whole Little Fires Everywhere show. Like I know the book existed, but I was like, I want to watch the show and be a traitor. So I watched the show, and I was like, I have to listen to the book. So I listened to it, and I definitely like the show better than the book. That's like the first time that has ever happened in the history of books, but I like it. I like it better than the book. That's okay. It's about race, it's about motherhood, it's about community and everything, all that kind of stuff. I give it a 4 stars because it discussed some really important topics and was a very good way to kick off into Black History Month. February, I want to read some books by Black authors. And last but definitely not the least, I read The Games We Play by Dana Izali, something like that. It's a corp fan fiction, and it's like, Your Dad Will Do is like a novella, smut, and it's something. It's definitely something. It's like if you're in the mood for some hot, kinky, pet king, daddy king kind of thing, rough kind of thing, you can definitely try it out. I definitely, of all the sex books I've read in my time, this was definitely one of my favorites. It was a good one. I gave it a 3.75 stars, so that technically like a 4 stars. Books. So these are all the 11 books that I read this month. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I didn't expect to read this many books this month, especially because I was moving, so I was like really proud of myself when I read that many books. So go me, per interior girl. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give a thumbs up, subscribe. See you guys later. Bye bye.